Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Thank you for stopping by. Well, coming again today, you're very welcome. I trust you enjoyed my last video on Trumpet Virtuoso Aussie James Morrison. It's a good look at his live, absolutely. So we're going from there to a couple of guys that we met in Greenfield College in Illinois. But because Nashville, Tennessee is a musical centre very much for music in the US, they actually moved to Nashville, Tennessee. So Dan Hazeltine, Steve Mason and Mark Ottmark, and they formed the band Jars of Clay. Now Jars of Clay have been pretty big, certainly in the Christian music world, but there have been some crossover albums and they have won a few Grammy Awards, these guys, so it's good to give these guys a bit of a go today. They became famous with the song Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and they put that to Sounds Like Teen Spirit, which was the Nirvana classic, and they had this pretty hilarious version of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer that became quite well known around the tracks. They then also part of a competition. They performed in Nashville, and because of that, they got actually noticed. There was a bit of a bidding war for these guys. Eventually got signed to Essential Records in 1995, and they released their self-titled album. Now, this album, Jars of Clay, was absolutely huge, multi-platinum. It got to number 37. So this is a Christian band, right? But we're talking crossover. We got number 37 on the Billboard Top 100, and number 10 in the Billboard Rock charts. So this song was pretty big, absolutely. And a couple of songs off this album. We got song Flood. We've got official and live version of that one below. The live version is actually from Live 8, which is pretty cool. Flood's all about, hey, you know, the world water's kind of a bit overtaking me at the moment. I don't really know where I'm headed. Life's a bit chaotic and a bit confusing. I don't know what I'm doing. Please help. And one of the lines, raise me up out of the flood. Now, obviously, flood in a songwriting context is philosophical, and that is, I've been overwhelmed. You know, there's just darkness all around me. I don't know what I'm going to do about it. Raise me up, lift me up out of the flood. And, you know, it's interesting when life is difficult and challenging, and let's face it, it can be difficult and challenging. What gets us going? It's not the physical, it's not the outward, it's not the outer stuff, it's actually the inner stuff, the decisions we make, who we are as people, perhaps the courage that we possess, the thing that will say, hey, I'm going to just push forward and push through this thing. This is the thing that gets us going, and what Jars of Clay are alluding to here is that it's the spirituality side of the spirit side of us. Now, SA Health in Adelaide acknowledges there is a spiritual side to us. I think it's pretty well accepted now that there is a spiritual side to us. So it's the essence of who we are. It's the thing that needs to rise up when things aren't going so well, or when things are going really well, what rises up then. But our spirit is our spirit. Undefined often. We don't know what it's like. We just know it's important. I mean, I think of the number of tattoos that seem to exist in the world today. It's like we're wearing our spirituality on our sleeves almost, and it's the thing that makes us who we are, what's important, and what makes us different from other people. Our spirit. And so to actually have your spirit crushed, which the song Flood's all about, it's pretty good way of, you know, saying, hey, look, sometimes our spirit needs something more. Now, they would argue it's actually God doing that. Certainly a belief that I've got as well, but each one of us is different. And, you know, we have different thoughts about this stuff. So, Flood, we've got live and official to that one. And then moving on also from this album, we've got the song Liquid. Now, I love this song. I love the way the song sounds. Official clip on this one. When all is going bad, there's one thing that I know, and that is that I am loved. You know, in them, it's Jesus just demonstrating through sending his son to this world to show how much he loved it. There's one thing that I know, and that is that I'm loved. So probably my favourite Jars of Clay song is Liquid. These guys, because they were quite big in the secular world, they toured with such bands as Matchbox 20 and Sting. They then released in 1997 Much Afraid. Now, this was the first album of 3 albums that would get Grammy Awards. And off Much Afraid, we got the song Crazy Times. I've got a live version of that one. Crazy Times is a pretty cool one about, hey, well, what on earth is the world doing right now? There are crazy times, and and we think, well, how do we even survive this world? Well, it's one day at a time. Paying attention to the stuff that needs to be paid attention to, but perhaps not thinking about everything. We just can't hope really for this world to fix itself. It's just nowhere near it at the moment. So these are crazy times, and so the role of the music is to speak out against these things at time. So we've got a Crazy Time live version of that one. Out in 1999, If I Left the Zoo, picture of the elephant on the front. Second Grammy Award, we got the song Unforgettable You, live version of that one. 2001, 4 of the band members got honorary degrees from the Greenville College, which is pretty cool. In 2004, out came the album The 11th Hour. This also won a Grammy Award, this album. The song I Need You is pretty cool. I need you, I need you, I need you. Just really much the heart, the spirit singing out saying, hey, look, I need a bit of extra help here. And so I've got a live version of I Need You. Between 1995 and 2013, there's been 12 studio albums, 2 compilation albums, 1 video album, 16 EPs, so quite a few of them, 44 singles, estimated to have sold around 2 million albums. So in the scheme of things, pretty significant and successful. Jars of Clay have got 3 Grammy Awards, 9 Dove Awards, 5 BMI Awards, and so well and truly acknowledged by the industry as being significant contributors to this thing called music. So the links to those 6 clips are in the description below, and I've also included my last video from James Morrison, so if you want to recap on him, feel free. Well, if this is your first time to Live Reflections to Music today, as we've considered this concept of spirit, or you come back for another one, great to see everybody here. That's it for today. Next time we're going to get onto Jason Gray. So until then, I'll catch you around. Bye for now.